Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well as we find ourselves at the beginning of a new year. The previous video I made about my conversion to Catholicism has done extraordinarily well. I mean, more people have watched it than live in my hometown, like three times, four times as many. So I don't know. I consider that successful. The goal of the video wasn't ever really to gain a large audience. I think, like I said in that video, it was made more for friends and family, but it seems to have got a lot of attention. I actually don't really know why people are so attracted to it, but I'm not complaining if it helps them. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm wearing a United jersey under a flannel, which is a little weird, I know, but United actually went top of the table today, so I was like, when you're on top of the table, you can do whatever you want. Uh, I couldn't watch the game because I'm doing Exodus 90, and it's like, really, this is the year we decide to go top of the table is when I've given up watching sports, but anyway, it's different subject. So the popularity of the last video prompted me to make another. The truth is, I've actually made two videos since that video, but I didn't like them. I didn't feel like they encaptured what I wanted this channel to be, so I deleted them. I think what made the last video so successful was the effort I put into writing it, making sure I said everything I wanted to say. So I tried to do that in this video, and hopefully comes out good. I I am thankful for all the comments of support on the last video. I mean, really, like they just keep coming. It's not anything I anticipated, but it is welcome. Also, believe it or not, I do appreciate the comments of concern as well. I mean, if you thought I was making a mistake or was missing something, I think it's noble for you to let me know. Why would you willingly let someone walk into traffic without yelling at them, hey, watch out? Also, for different reasons, I appreciate the less constructive comments. There was one that it basically said, this video should be called Why I Decided to Be Stupid, and something like that. I don't know. I thought that was really funny. Anyway, probably the most common theme that comes from that video, as far as like question wise from that video, and then also just telling people is, what does your family think? So I wanted to make a video addressing just that. I think the two most common questions are probably how did they react when you converted, and then how did you tell them? So I can't remember exactly who was the first family member that I told, probably my sister, but a memory that stands out the most is that of when I first told my mother. I remember it was late summer before my freshman year, so I had just finished high school, and sitting her down and telling her that when I went to university, I planned on attending a Catholic church with a good probability of converting. Actually, in the weeks prior to that, it was I don't know if funny is the right way to put it, but my parents kept like throwing out suggestions like, oh, if you thought about this church, or what about this church, blah blah blah, for like when I went to Stillwater, and I was just kind of like, nodding my head like, oh, hey, maybe, I don't know, who knows. By that point, I knew that I was going to go to the Catholic Church, but I hadn't worked up the courage to tell them. I also knew that the decision would probably impact my mom more than my dad, at least emotionally speaking. So I made sure to sit her down and tell her everything one on one, from the beginning, why I was doing what I was doing, and I think she appreciated that. Without being too specific, I think that maybe alleviated some concerns that she would have if I had not done that. So, I mean, just think like coming from non-denominationalism to Catholicism, it's quite different. I mean, just Protestantism to Catholicism in general is quite different. Regardless, it was my mother that was probably the most emotionally affected by the decision. I think the rest of my family members just saw it kind of as a positive thing. Not in the sense that they were like, "Hey, so glad you're Catholic," Well, welcome home. Not anything like that, but more in the sense of like, I'm glad that you are following what you think it is that the Lord has called you to do. Um, it's just sort of a different way of viewing which church you should go to. Like, if you don't believe that there is one true church, at least in the very literal sense, then I don't think that it matters as much maybe where you're going to church, as long as you're following the Lord. That's not my perspective. I'm just trying to see it as they see it. And sorry, I should say, like, they saw it as a positive thing. So does my mom. I'm not saying that she's against it or anything. They didn't. No one in the family has disowned me so far. Just that there were some rough patches to work through. She was actually the only member at my confirmation. Due to COVID this year, the ceremony was limited to myself, a family member, and my sponsor. There was probably like 10, maybe less people in the church total. It was just myself and another person getting confirmed, and the two people with them, the priest, an assistant, and our RCIA director. My dad was actually mobilized at the time due to COVID. He was helping with that. And it became like a source of like conflict and misunderstanding. Like, they didn't really understand why I didn't just want to wait to be confirmed until after all the virus chaos was over so that everyone could be there. If you want to talk about like potential difficulties of having different religious viewpoints and misconceptions that can arise due to them, that is one of them. I mean, it's just like, it's a different perspective of what going to a Protestant church versus a Catholic mass means. I didn't want to wait any longer than necessary to receive the Eucharist because, if you believe it's the true body, blood, soul, and divinity of Jesus Christ, like, you're going to want to get that, man. You're going to get that real quick. And the confirmation had already been postponed a few weeks because of Easter. It's just an unfortunate situation. So there's nothing too crazy, like, when it comes to my family and me being Catholic versus their being Protestant. You just run into some minor problems, I would say. Also, sorry for if it looks like I'm not looking at the camera. It's because I'm not most of the time, because I typed all this out so that way I could just read it off so I wouldn't forget anything. Anyway, minor problems that you run into. For example, in the beginning, they didn't really understand why I wouldn't go to church with them anymore on Sunday. And it wasn't like I didn't go to church with them because I was so much opposed to what they were doing. It's just that I want to go to mass. I want to receive communion. Actually, one of the biggest attitude changes that I've had since becoming Catholic is my approach to Sundays. This is a little off topic, but I used to be somewhat, maybe indifferent is the right way to say, about going to church. The more serious I got about my faith before converting, like, I know some people get upset when I use the converting word, but I'm still going to use it. But when I converted to Catholicism, before I converted, I appreciated going to church. Like, I appreciated what church was. But it didn't bother me to miss a service. Like, in my opinion, I was just like, I'll just watch it online. Like, what does it matter whether I'm there or not? Sometimes I would be happy whenever my family didn't go to church for whatever reason so that I could stay home and do other things. Since starting to attend Mass, there's been a serious change in attitude. I think one way of explaining it, this is going to sound weird, but it's like going to the gym. You don't always want to go to the gym, even if you enjoy the gym, but whenever you don't go to the gym for an extended period, you just kind of feel sick, like you're depriving yourself of something that your body needs. And mass once a Sunday sometimes feels like that. Like it's such a long time to wait. One of the things I appreciate about my university parish is that there's mass like 6 out of 7 days of the week. I'm not saying I go to all of them, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying that you have options, um, and it helps like keep you grounded. It's really, truth be told, I'm nothing without the mass and going to confession often. It rejuvenates me. I love it. So going back to the family, I guess a small difficulty would be living with a family during Lent whenever you're fasting and they are not. It can be awkward to remind your mom that you're not eating meat on Fridays after she has a meal for the family planned. Again, these are not Mount Everest problems, but they're just minor things that you don't really have to consider maybe if you live in an entirely devout Catholic, at least maybe nuclear family. Probably, this is in my opinion though, probably the hardest part about living in a non-Catholic family is not the things you do together, but rather the things that you do together when you try to share something. Obviously, my parents want to be a part of my life. I don't, like, that's a good thing. And so they want to share in the things that I enjoy, and the Mass is obviously a big part of it. It's a big part of who I am. And I always get a little bit nervous when I go to Mass with my family. Like, it's hard to focus on just being present. Like, I get worried that maybe the homily won't be good. Maybe someone will be rude to them. Maybe they will get mad that they're not able to receive communion. I don't know. It's just the Mass it's part of who I am. It's personal for me. So I get nervous inviting someone that I care about into that, because you want them to love and appreciate the same things that you do. And I have to remind myself it's a good thing they want to go. I don't own the Mass. It's not it's not private for me. It's designed to be shared. And it's just, I have to do things a little bit differently when I'm with them. Maybe you can't stay afterwards and pray like you usually want to. Maybe you can't go as early and, just pray in silence. It's different, but it's a good thing. Maybe I should talk with them about these things. Maybe that's what this is. But anyway, it's not really that big of a deal. My family has been very gracious to me, and I think they have a desire to learn more about it. I hope she won't be upset for me sharing stuff like this, but she's expressed interest into looking into an RCIA class. She doesn't want to be. I don't think she wants to become Catholic or anything. She just wants to learn more about what I'm doing, about the faith in general. But that's how my road to Catholicism began. So who knows? I'm very blessed with the family that I have. I really am. This change of path in life would have been much more difficult without the family support that I have. I can't imagine coming from a different faith. I don't know the kind of courage it takes to convert from a completely different religion, such as Hinduism, Islam, Mormonism, you name it. Those people they're much braver than I am. So in closing, I want to thank you all for the support on the last video. I really don't know what this YouTube channel is going to be. I don't want to make any promises. School's starting up again soon, so I'll be much busier. I don't know, but thank you for watching this one. Also, if you're watching this video in 2021, pre-Easter, I'm still currently doing Exodus 90, therefore I will be unresponsive to any comments on YouTube or messages on social media. I won't even see those. I get emails about the YouTube ones, but I won't even see the social media ones. But I'll get back to you once Easter arrives. I actually don't know if recording and uploading this video is technically breaking the rules of Exodus or not, but oh well, you know. I think it's a good thing. If you don't mind, saying an Our Father or a Hail Mary for my family and myself, that'd be very nice. Okay, thanks guys. God bless.